Hi! Today I'm showing you how I made this dress from a tablecloth. Yeah, this dress that I love so much because you can pretty much do anything in it. You can twirl around, you can lie on the bed pretending that you're reading a book. And I love this linen fabric so much. It feels so good when I wear it. Yeah, I'm gonna stop pretending. This is a fabric that I got from Salvation Army for only like $3.50, which is so nice.
At first I wanted to use two fabrics, so I drew these designs, but I liked how the dress looked during the process, so I didn't use the purple fabric.
I got these two patterns and I want the top to be kind of like this Renaissance style waist. And I made a copy of the patterns because I don't want to ruin the original pattern, and like I made it out of plastic and just write down my size and the detail. And this big piece is for the skirt with I just use a program to calculate it. So here's how to do it. Go to byhandlondon.com and then click circle skirt calculator. Choose how full you want the skirt to be and the length. Mine is mini half skirt. Choose your waist measurements and then click do the math please, and then it will do everything for you. And just follow the pattern. By the way, I used this plastic to create this, but when I take it out of the bag, it was so like thin and crumply and can stretch, which is not ideal. So guess what? I used 2 layers of these and stuck it underneath the baking paper and just ironed them to fill the layers, which is not the best thing to do, but it's the only thing I have now. Then I traced my pattern pieces onto the fabric, and yes, I used fabric detergent, softener, and an iron as my pattern weights, because why not? And that's when I found my tailor's joke.
While I am tracing and cutting, I figured I could show you my gorgeous drawing of the dress construction.
And yeah, using these as my weights. They did not pay me to do this, but I love Downy softener so much. I've used this for so long since I was in Thailand, and that was like a year ago. Okay, here I'm taking out the lace that was around the tablecloth. If you remember, I wanted to use the lace to trim the dress and give it a cute detail. I was using a knife because I don't have a seam ripper. And yes, that took me such a long time. So now that I have my pieces, I take my front pieces and just gonna do some darts here. And this is the right side, this is the wrong side.
This is a little tip I learned to make sewing darts easier.
And just take a contrasting thread and thread it through the needle, but don't tie the end. And just on the right side, just put the needle through the tip and then pull it on one leg like this and leave kind of 3 inches of tail, and then you go diagonally. Is it diagonally or something vertically? Like do this, go here. Okay, on the other leg, do the same thing. And just go back to the first leg and do the same thing and continue doing it until until you reach the bottom. As you can see, it's forming a ladder. I mean, it can be prettier, but it works. Okay, so now that you reach the bottom, just pull through and let go of the needle, and you have these two kind of tail, right? And all you have to do is pull. It's gonna come together and form a beautiful darts for you to follow on the inside, so you know where to stitch. And once you stitch on this, you can just remove the basting by pulling the thread, and it's gonna be easy because it's the opposite color thread. Then I went to bed, woke up and had my breakfast. Then, before continuing our project, I made a birthday card for my best friend Trisha. Her birthday was last month, but my friend and I are planning to make a surprise party for her today, because every day can be a birthday if you want it to be. While making it, I was watching Barbie and the Secret Door because I couldn't remember why I hated it so much, and I really regret it. And also, do you see these colored pencils and glue? I borrowed them from Trisha and she had no idea that I was making a card for her. So fun. Okay, back to sewing. So just sew the darts that we made last night. When it is done, it is going to look like this. Press it open while I figure out the best way to finish it. I actually have no idea what to do. I'm just gonna leave it for now and make the other dart. This is how it's gonna go. So there's the back piece and two front pieces like this, and we're just gonna stitch at the shoulder seam and the side seam with the right side together like so, and like so. Also, the pins I use on my fabric are fabric pins, which can disappear, so just don't use normal pins on your fabric. Once you finish the shoulder seams, it's gonna look like this, and then sew the side seams. I used pins to secure the fabric in place. Once that was done, I just ironed all of my seams open. After that, I tried it on and I realized that the pack was a little bit too loose on me, so I just added a few pleats before I finished my neckline. And at this point, I decided to just get rid of the sleeves because I like how it looked now. I've cut a piece of fabric along the bias for the width of 1 inch to finish the neckline.
I realized I've never told you how to use the bias tape to finish neckline and armhole, so I drew the process for you. Quick, take a screenshot.
So now that I have my body pieces, I try to wear it and try to figure out where to place my skirt. So I'm gonna do it now. I'm just gonna take my shawl. I want it to be quite high-waisted. So here I got it, the line that you can probably see or not. But to be honest with you, I have no idea what to do with the closure, but I'm gonna figure it out. So you remember the seams that I told you to press open, and I'll find a way to deal with them later. I decided to flat fill them by hand. Hey, check this out. So cute! coolest thing ever. Oh my god. So once that is done, this is how it looks like on the inside. And I know it's not like the most professional looking thing, but I couldn't be bothered, and this is the outside, and I just did it on the other side as well. Then I pinned the skirts and the bodice together where I drew the line earlier. I adjusted the fit and then sewed them right side together. And then I hand sewed the lace that I took off earlier from the tablecloth here and here and here. I should become an artist. I've been practicing sewing buttonholes on the same fabric, and this is the button that I am going to use. I got these from Spotlight. And then I marked where I want my buttons and buttonholes to be using a fancy ruler, but honestly you don't really need it. Just draw them where you want them to be.
Then I sew the buttons and buttonholes in place, but I didn't film them. Sorry about that.
After that, I just sewed the rest of the button plackets closed. Now it's technically done. I just need to iron it, and I can finally wear it. This linen fabric is so hard to iron, and I eventually just gave up and decided to love it for what it is. And that's how I made this dress. Bye!